mind if I do?
This is All About Wine, the talk show dedicated to the wine industry since 2009. Featuring winemaker, cellar master, vineyardist, and tasting expert, Ron.
Basically, what we're trying to do on this program is just trying to educate people and trying to make wine less confusing and more friendly.
From coast to coast and around the world.
You know, we really have had some neat people on the program. I love that.
Post your questions and comments during the live show on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/allaboutwinebtr. Again, that's www.facebook.com/allaboutwinebtr. And now, All About Wine is on. Here's Ron.
Oh! Yeah.
We got Blog Talk Radio on their open.
I still do. I still do. I don't know if maybe it's nostalgic. I don't know. I just, something's wrong there.
I don't know.
We'll
Can you remove it? Or do you have to do a lot of...
I have to re-edit the whole thing again.
Remove it.
Yeah, it has to be reloaded and re-edited. It would take a couple hours maybe if that, but I just have to gather my thoughts one day and actually
stand your delay.
Start adding. Adding. So here we are. It is May 15th, 7:01 p.m. Eastern time. On All About Wine and Ron.
Okay. I don't think anyone cares.
Take it away, Ron.
Yeah. Go live. Good. Thank you for listening on archives, like many of our. Thank you. And we are episode of All About Wine. Am I lost?
No, you're still there. I think there's a little bit of a delay though. I noticed your little circle thing. Oh, you're not hearing me.
Oh. Yeah, I am. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but that was... Yes, but there is a major delay, it sounds like.
Reconnecting. It keeps popping that up.
Because there is a delay. Oh, he dropped out completely. Anyway, you're listening to a not so bug-free edition of All About Wine, and Ron has dropped the call. So as soon as he gets back, I'll put him back on the show and he'll be with us. In the meantime, enjoy this tune from the 1970s. It's all about that jazz. Yes, right here on All About Wine. I know what you're saying. Don't give up your day job. Actually, I hear something. Hang on. Is he here? Hang on. Oh. Okay, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, okay. I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. You sound like you're there now.
Okay. Am I
not as long of a delay?
You sound like you're hesitant. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, come on. There's a delay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
orange.
Oops. Connection lost. Reconnecting. Keeps on doing that to me. Am I lost? Is the connection lost?
No, you're still in.
Are you still on? Why is this doing this? I don't know. keeps it keeps popping up a little notice to me, connection lost, reconnecting, and I don't know why it's doing that. And what the, when we have a problem like this, there it shows again. Oops, connection lost, reconnecting. I wonder if that's like a reconnected. Thanks to why I'm scared to get a guest on. We still don't have all kinks ironed out.
I'm going to try orange.
And we get a guest on, and we're in the middle of a discussion with a guest, and I ask them a question, and 30 seconds later, they hear the question. It's insane.
Did you hear orange?
Did you hear me?
Well, that's only 20 seconds.
Right away?
Okay. Yeah, that was only a 20-second delay, if that was the second orange I said. We were doing good before the show started.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. Can you hear me right away now? Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Why don't you say orange, and I'll tell you when I hear it.
Oh, you're not. Yeah. Orange.
I just heard it. 7:17 or 7 yeah, 7 minutes and 17 seconds into the show. I heard it.
Well, it did not quickly stop.
Now you're cutting out.
I wonder if it's my computer or
Oh, you're definitely
program
cutting out. You sound like a robot right now.
I'm cutting out. No, that's probably part of the microphone. It says the microphone restarted the default microphone. Oh my God. What? This is ridiculous. Let me see. Let me get this. And okay. Good. Let me try to get on my tablet and see if we can connect on my tablet, because then all of a sudden okay, let's go to Facebook.
You're joining the show through Facebook?
Oh, come on. if I can hook up through it, I will. No, let me do it. Oh no! What is this? Well, it won't let me connect to Facebook, and it won't let me connect through Yahoo. We got. Are you hearing me at all?
I am hearing.
Even with the
I am
10-second
hearing you.
delay, are you hearing me?
I am hearing you. You said you can't connect through Facebook and you can't connect through Yahoo. I don't know what browsers those are, but I know you want to use a regular browser like Chrome, Firefox, Opera. What's some of the other ones?
That's right.
Safari.
For some
That's
reason,
Apple
I'm
though.
not being able to get on either one of them.
Yeah, you need a regular browser type. Let's see what other methods here.
Yeah,
Audio settings.
all about one. Always except all about wine. Brewing supply stores near you. Oh, what is it? Yeah, all about wine. Yeah, I can't get anything. Oh, there we go.
Hmm.
Yes. It's all about wine. Somebody has it.
Oh yeah.
Mm. Well, here, here we go. Let's see if this. Okay. Um, well, I found me in Yahoo, but I don't see any way to connect. Yeah.
You found the email in Yahoo with the link in it?
No, I found all about wine.
Oh.
Found all about wine in Yahoo. But
Hmm.
that didn't do me any good because there's no to connect and talk with you. Ah, all right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since I have a delay and we've already killed 50, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start talking and
Okay.
about some of the subjects I'm going to talk about tonight. And I won't be able to tell if I'm not going through device. Actually stop. Keep saying my microphone is stopped, but you can hear me, so I don't think the microphone is stopped. I don't know where.
Yeah, I don't think that's not the problem. It's something else.
I don't know. I asked you something.
Hmm.
Oh. Well, I and talk about stuff. I guess we're being connected to everything, so we'll have to just hope that it is. And if an hour before we weren't connected, so if you want to jump in there anytime, Mike, I can hear you right away. I'm the one that you can't hear. Oh,
I don't know if I don't know if we're
off
still
my
delayed or
speaker
not.
stuff. So if you need to
Oh,
get in touch, and
okay.
you know,
I will let you know.
yeah, we must be.
Uh,
Can you? Okay, see, we are delayed.
yeah.
All right. Let me go into some stuff here I want to tell you all about and talk about and keep you informed on, as always. Uh, let's do a little bit of the tree to start with here. And we do that every week, 20 minutes into the show. Boy, see, loading fast either. The low, it just is. Okay, Fiasco was the last one we did. That's what they call those round bottom bottles that has the straw wrapped around the base of it. That is called a Fiasco. I never knew it was called a Fiasco, the bottle, from the Chianti region. Next one, field blend. When a wine is planted in several different, or I'm sorry, when a vineyard is planted to several different varieties and the grapes are harvested together to produce a single wine, the wine is called a field blend. I don't think I've ever noticed a field blend labeled on a bottle. Fifth, growth. It says see classified growths. We've talked about those. Fighting varietal. This term was coined in the 1980s to describe a new category of wines, labeled as varietals but priced nearly as inexpensively as generics. Example, Mountain Chablis or Hardy Burgundy. Glen Ellen was one of the first to sell good quality Chardonnay and Cabernet for $4 to $6 per bottle. Since then, the category has expanded. It includes varietals such as Merlot, producers from regions as far flung as Chile, Australia, and the south of France, and prices up to nearly $10 per bottle. But this concept is the same. A varietal wine of good quality at an everyday price. Fighting varietals was called. I've never heard the term fighting varietal. I don't know where that was used or where that came from. I think everybody's more familiar with a $2 chuck than anything else, but we've all seen the Hardy Burgundies and the Mountain Chablis. Those come in the jugs, and we just accepted those back in the early 70s as well, it says 80s here, in the early 80s, I guess it was, as what they were. This is what a Chablis tastes like, and this is what a Burgundy tastes like. But next one, fill level. The amount of wine in a bottle is gauged by its height in the bottle. Common descriptors are good fill, high shoulder. The wine level is even with the sloping part of the bottle just below the neck, or low shoulder. Important since fill level is an indicator of the wine's condition and whether it has been properly stored. The airspace in the bottle, called ullage, can cause harmful oxidation. Ullage, ullage. Now, fill level, let me explain something. A lot of times, wines, when they are bottled, especially with the big bottling machine that you just feed the bottles in one end, it does everything itself. And a lot of times on small wineries, will do this too, give a squirt of nitrogen across the top of the bottle before the cork is put in. Nitrogen is an inert gas, and so therefore it will not hurt the wine, but it will throw the regular oxygen out of there, and so it's not going to affect the wine over long term. When you fill a bottle, it's usually filled to the neck level, and it's sometimes it can be filled lower. You need to watch it. They're filled by spigots. The little spigot goes into the bottle, and the wine is poured through that spigot into the bottle. Once it hits the level, sensor level on the spigot, it automatically shuts off. Now, these spigots can be adjusted up or down just a little bit, so you can have a little less wine in it, a little bit more wine in it, depending on where you set your sensors for the spigot to shut off. Most of the time, it's just right at the beginning of the neck. That's usually a reasonable spot for it. I have tested, wondering how much difference it is, where the wine is filled up in the bottle. I have taken it and I've poured it into a glass measuring cup to see if it is all 750 milliliters. And it can vary a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 milliliters one way or the other, but not much more than that. It might go up to 5, some of them. And I do this every once in a while. When I grab a bottle of wine, I'll open it up and I'll pour it all out. Of course, the wife and I, the engineer and I, drink it all that night, so it's not like we're going to put a bunch of air in it. But I pour it all out and I measure it just to see where these bottles are being filled to and how much is in it. And overall, they don't vary by 2 or 3 milliliters at the most. It's pretty close. And this is because they're usually filled by machines that are set to fill them to the 750 milliliter level, and they hit it exactly. Then it squirts a little bit of nitrogen over the top of it, and that fills up the airspace, and which is the ullage, 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 and the ullage level then is nitrogen is not going to affect the wine. Filtering, pumping wine through a screen or pad to remove leftover grape and fermentation particles. Most wines are filtered for both clarity and stability, although some winemakers believe that flavors and complexity may also be stripped from the wine when you filter it. So, same thing with fining, and that's the next one. A technique for clarifying wine using agents such as bentonite, which is powdered clay, isinglass, which is fish bladder, casein, which is milk protein, gelatin, or egg whites, which combine with sediment particles and cause them to settle to the bottom where they can be easily removed. So let's go into filtering and fining a little bit here. And we'll stop with definitions because I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on these. Some wineries don't do either. They don't filter or fine. They think that and I tend to agree somewhat with them. They think that when they start filtering and fining, it does remove stuff that you don't want removed. There's different flavors and stuff. You can actually filter out just about anything out of a wine. You can strip it of all of its characters. You can strip it of all of its nuances and end up with grape juice. Almost to that point. If you drive it through a very, very fine filter, you can strip it of just about everything that makes it a wine. To get a consistency in wine from year to year, you can do it that way. You can filter and fine it out so it gives you the same level of consistency as you had the previous vintages. Filtering will take out some of the stuff that, I'm trying to think of when you filter a wine, you're removing some of the major sediments and stuff like that. The grape skins leave different particles and stuff, and when you filter it, it takes out the larger stuff. That's really how I've always looked at it. Filtering takes out the larger particles that you're trying to remove from the wine, leaving you with a cleaner wine. Now, when you fine the wine, this is putting it through an even tighter filtering system, or it is mixing it with different types of stuff that will fine it, that will clean it out. And what this does is you drop these different things at the top of the tank, and say, for example, egg white. You drop the egg whites at the top of the tank. This is thicker and heavier than the wine. This will float to the bottom of the tank, and as it does, it pulls off even finer stuff that is in the wine. And then when you get to the bottom of the tank, you either siphon it out, clean it out at the bottom, or you take the wine off the top of it, leave the bottom there so you can clean that up. Now, this is going to another part of the fining, is what they use there. Now, let's go back through this list here again. We have bentonite, which is powdered clay, which is no big deal. That's earth. But we also have isinglass, which is fish bladder. If people are allergic to fish and you're using fish bladder to clean it, then that could create a problem. Casein, which is milk protein, that could create a problem. Gelatin or egg whites, if they're allergic to eggs, could that create a problem? I don't know. This is one of the things why they're saying you should have full disclosure on your wine label, because if you have egg whites that is using to fine the wine, then is there enough left in there that is going to cause an allergic reaction? Maybe so. I mean, just people walking into a restaurant that uses peanuts, they have to put a sign, peanut is being used here, so people can, who are allergic to peanuts, leave the building. I don't know. I'm personally not allergic to anything, and so, well, penicillin, but I don't understand how serious it can be, so therefore I can't comment on it in that area. But I do know that the use of egg whites and of casein milk protein can cause allergic reactions to people. I don't know if there's enough left in the wines. I haven't seen any articles or anything on it, except for the fact that we need to label it so that people who are allergic to it can know that it's in there. And that's the only thing I know. I haven't really, I've looked, I haven't seen anything anywhere talking about the amount of the stuff, this protein that's left in there that can cause a reaction. So I don't know. But that's how those things are done. So we'll finish with fining and start with finish. Well, let's go ahead and do finish. Why don't we? Finish is one key to judging a wine's quality is finish. It's a measure of the taste or flavors that linger in the mouth after the wine is tasted. Great wines have rich, long, complex finishes or aftertaste. Now, sometimes finish and aftertaste are used interchangeably because it's what, after you swallowed it, what is the aftertaste? What is, does it linger? Does it stay there? Does it disappear? Is it something that you want to take another sip? Is it something that leaves that taste in your mouth longer than just say, oh, well, that's gone. There's nothing left in the taste. That's aftertaste. So, or finish. So that's what your definition of finish is. It's what's lingering in your mouth after you've finished swallowing the wine and is still there. That's actually, it's giving you an indication that the wine is good. It's like, I want another sip of this because the finish is so good. There you go. We'll start with Fino next week, F-I-N-O, and in our definitions there. My engineer brought me in this evening's wine. So let me do a quick review and sip of it here. This is a 2021 Pugnatello, Pugnitell, Pugnatello from Tuscana. And that's what it says, Tuscana. IGT. I'm not sure what that is. San Felice, it says on the bottom. It is Pugnatello. Pugnatello, 100%. Pugnatello, an ancient grape variety with a small fish-size bunch, is clearly linked to the San Felice. Oh, they got stuff printed over this import San Felice Talent for Research, with its distinctive characteristics of organic softness, aromatic complexities, and longevity. Um, it is released in purity. I guess that's what it says. This label's messed up here, so it's really hard to read this. It is trying to find the alcohol level on this. 13.5 ABV. 13.5 and product of Italy. Sorry, that label really is sort of messed up here. It's got stuff stamped on it, printed over it, and so okay. So it's a Pugnatello from Italy, Tuscany, Italy. Very dark color to it. I don't have a whole lot in my glass. And Joe never pours a lot in the glass. I don't like a lot to start with, but very dark color. In fact, I'm looking down through it, as I've indicated before. I usually look through the top of the glass, through the wine, and see if I see my fingers down there. And I'm not. This is so dark, and it's not a lot of wine in the glass to hide the fingers. So that's a good indication of the darkness of this. Nice legs on it, thick, slow moving, good color. What did I say? The 2021. So this is 4 years old from picking, but I don't know about when it was bottled, so it didn't say anything. Let me look up the Pugnatello grape. Give me a moment here while I go back and look at the Pugnatello grape. And see. Oh, computer is not cooperating with me today. Let's see. It is slow. So slow. Okay, let's see. That's great. Wine grapes. Wine grapes. Well, wine grape varieties. There we go. And we went Pugnatello. P. Sorry. I didn't know she was going to be this, or else I probably would have. Okay, there we go. Pugnatello wine. Pugnatello is an ancient, rare red grape variety native to Tuscany in the northern part of Italy. Pugnatello means little fist. Well, that helps explain their description of it, the size of a fist. Little fist in Italian, and refers to the vine's small, tight bunches of berries, which resemble a fist. The hardy grape was forgotten for many years, but is now enjoying a mini revival thanks to an initiative by the University of Florence and a handful of local growers. In an attempt to preserve the native grapes of Tuscany, the university, in conjunction with San Felice Winery, grafted, planted, and then monitored around 200 varieties in the experimental Vitarium vineyard at San Felice to test their sustainability for winemaking. Those found to be suitable were then vinified separately. Well, this is from San Felice Winery. I think I said that, didn't I? So this is the San Felice. And so we'll talk about them again here. Rather expensive bottle. It's got a little raised emblem on the front and all that, and got a punk heavy bottle. Oh, I just noticed too. When my engineer opened the wine, she popped the cork down inside the bottle instead of pulling it out. I'll have to ask her about that. Okay. Pugnatello shares the phenotypic characteristics with Montepulciano. Oh, and it was previously thought that they were the same variety. However, DNA profiling has proven that they are different. In the case of Pugnatello, initial observations showed that it produced thick-skinned grapes in small bunches and was naturally low-yielding. It was soon acknowledged as a standout thanks to the intensely colored wines it produces with plump tannins and good acid. Following these experiments and Pugnatello's accession to the National Registry of Vine Varieties in 2002 and approval by the Tuscan Regional Commission the following year, a small number of producers in Tuscany planted the grape and are now producing mostly single varietal wines under the IGT Tuscana classification. There you go, IGT. That's the Tuscana classification. That's what the IGT stands for. I didn't know that. These are deep purpley red in color and show a complex mix of sweet and savory aromas such as cherry and blackberry with tanned leather and earth. Pugnatello wines tend to be on the fuller side. And availability by region, 100% Italy. This grape is not found anywhere else right now. I don't know if they've attempted to show it other places, but this is it, 100% Italy. And they show a list of them here with scores up in the upper 80s and low 90s. So that's pretty good. Prices range from $17 up to $50. So good range. Dark color. The nose isn't coming out yet, though. That's strange. That it's been open sitting here for a while, and the nose isn't opening up to me. Oh, my computer is not working right. I'm not getting the cherry and blackberry. It says that it usually shows. Oh boy, that is. I'm looking for it to come out. I'm getting a little bit of smokiness to the aroma, like a little bit of fireplace smokiness to it. But I'm not getting cherry. It's darker. Well, it says tan leather in the aroma and earthiness. So that's probably when I'm picking up this tan leather. But yeah, aroma isn't as pronounced as I thought it might be. Let's try it here. Always on the second sip. Oh, that's very good. That's very, very good. It is a good balance of tannins and acid. The acid gets that little bite in there. The tannins are the dryness that you're getting in the mouth and the throat. The finish, which we just covered on definitions, is good. It gives you the flavors of the cherries, and that's where I'm getting the cherries and the flavor and the aftertaste. It wasn't an initial flavor, and definitely not in the nose. That's surprising that it's not coming out in the nose. Huh. And I don't have a cold or anything, no sinus problems, so I'm breathing well. Huh. But very nice wine. Very nice wine. Pugnitello. Pugnitello. If you see it out there, I highly recommend a bottle of it. This would probably go very well with like uh, roast pork or stuffed mushrooms. Uh, Let me see what else if they say anything else about other things. Oh yeah, Swedish meatballs. Oh, that would go very well with Swedish meatballs with chutney. So Pugnatello. Oh, I'm glad she brought this in this evening. This is very good. Let's see. This is San Felice. Let's see if they list the San Felice on this list here. And yes, they do. It's the very first one on the list. San Felice, region Toscano IGT. Popularity is very, very popular. Critic score on this wine 91 out of 100. And they said the average price is $51. I don't think we paid that much, probably around 30, 25 to 30. So there we go. That's our wine for this evening. Oops, I just hit my microphone on the glass. Some very nice legs. As I stop swirling and letting it go, the legs are thick, very slow moving legs at the bottom of the glass. It's very good wine. I wonder what we're having for dinner tonight. I don't know. This might go well with that. We will see. Okay. Let me go back to a couple of things I want to talk about. I got an email today. Actually, it came in today from as soon as this loads here, from Stephen Castles. And I mentioned Stephen Castles ago, and I put his aroma wheel up. And in fact, it's still on the Facebook. You can look down, you can find it there. He says, feel free to use it. Just give him credit. So do that. But Stephen Castles sent me an email to let us know. I mentioned last time when I talked about him that he had cancers. He had lung cancer and come on, load. Why? This thing is taking forever tonight. Could be why the delays and stuff. I think it could be my computer. Okay, there we go. He said he wants to inform people on the health situation. He said he was diagnosed with both lung and kidney cancer and a rotator cuff and prostate thing to boost it all last December. And he said he's had lung cancer surgery and it is done, and it was not as extensive as they first thought. And so therefore it is all cleared up. They got all the bad stuff out. And now onto the kidney surgery on next month on the 16th. And the prostate is done. And then the rotator cuff so that it can hopefully take care of that. So kidney surgery is coming up on the 16th of next month. The lung cancer surgery is all cleared up. The prostate is done. And rotator cuff is going to be done also soon. So he said he can get out to his vineyard because that's what he does. He's got all these different grapes and everything. Um, just a little background on Steve that he put on this thing here. He said the first batch of wine that he made, he was 16 years old at Ben Mari, yeah, Ben Mari Vineyard for an Eric Miller, which was 300 gallons of Sauvignon Blanc. Uh, he said he's been involved and hooked in wine ever since. So, interesting man. We had an interview with him. He put out an aroma wheel, which is much more detailed than the ones that you normally see. So, if you, it's on our Facebook page. If you are interested in using it for anything, just give him credit. He says that anybody can use it all they want, copies, whatever. Just give him credit. It is copyrighted, so don't try to take it as your own. But improvement on his health there. Okay. I saw this and I thought you might be interested. Oh, let me talk about this for a second. Food and Wine. The Food and Wine Classic in Aspen, Colorado is almost here. It's coming up in June the 20th to the 22nd. 3 days of spectacular tastings, expert-led seminars, and unforgettable moments. That was a quote there, by the way. Continue. It says, explore the grand tastings with 150 plus chefs and winemakers. Stop by the exclusive pop-up wine bar or catch a live taping of Food and Wine's podcast, Tinfoil Swans. From cooking demos to spirited debates, like chefs versus sommeliers, in a blind tasting showdown, it is one weekend where the food world comes together and you'll want to be part of it. Now, tickets are getting low. Let me tell you about the categories of tickets that are still available. You can go to foodandwine.com. I'm sure it's all on there. This year, they elevated the classic experience with exciting new additions based on people's feedback. So they've got a bunch of new stuff. This first one is the consumer passes. It's package detail. Access to the Grand Taste Pavilion, open 5 times throughout the weekend. It includes sample food, wine, and spirits from over 200 brands. Opportunity to sign up for cooking demonstrations and beverage seminars, over 40 to choose from. And they said these tickets are selling fast. Consumer passes is only $2,009. Only $2,950. Well, it's for a 3-day weekend, and that just you've got the American Express rest passes for members of the restaurant industry only. This is access to panel discussions and networking events exclusively for members of the restaurant and the hospitality industries. Access to the Grand Tasting Pavilion, open 5 times throughout the weekend. Access to private trade tastings, open 3 times throughout the weekend. Early access to the Grand Tasting Pavilion and opportunity to sign up for the cooking classes. This is $2,950 also. And then the Food and Wine gives passes, along with all consumer pass benefits, which I just read you. This will also include Food and Wine will donate $1,000 for each pass sold to the participating charities. Considering that the pass is $5,500 each, I suppose you could do that. VIP access to seminar and grand tasting, access to the invite-only welcome party exclusively for guests of Food and Wine on Thursday, access to the invite-only top of the mountain party exclusively for guests of Food and Wine on Friday, and tickets to Classic Cookout, an outdoor walk-around tasting at the top of Aspen Mountain on Sunday, June the 22nd. 5,500. These are sold out. What? I know. Sold out. 5,500. Must be quite an event. I mean, these things. Says in 2025, Food and Wine will continue its efforts to raise funds and awareness for culinary causes with Food and Wine Gives. GIVES Gives. Food and Wine will donate a portion of net proceeds to the charity partner No Kid Hungry and Southern Smoke Foundation. Next one also is sold out. It's the American Express Premium Events Collection. It includes everything that I've just read you on the other packages, plus passes available for Platinum Card members and for Centurion members. And this is exclusively for American Express, Platinum Card, and Centurion members. So, unless you own one of those cards, you can't get in. And it's sold out anyway, so you can't get in anyway. But that's $5,000, and that's it. That's the categories. So 5,500, 5,000, 2,900. Those are your categories. Plus, you're going to have to also find hotels and everything else there. So that's in Aspen, Colorado, coming up on June the. What did I just say? What does it say? Why doesn't it say? You would think that it would have the dates on this. June 20th and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there you go. And next one I want to read. This is Esther Mobley. Again, the San Francisco drinks writer, not only just wine but drinks writer. But she wrote one here. It's long, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it caught my eye because we've talked about tastings and what they're doing, pricing. Let me just read the first couple of paragraphs here, which sums up really what I'm going to tell you. She stated, every year when I fact check the tasting fees for my top Sonoma County Wineries Guide, whose annual update we published today, and this was in today's paper, as a matter of fact, I expect prices to have inched upward. There's inevitably a handful of wineries that have raised tasting fees modestly, say from $30 to $35. In this economy, who can blame them? But I jolted when I noticed that the price to visit one of my favorite Sonoma County spots, Hansel Vineyards, has spiked dramatically from $65 a year ago to $90 now. I will ride any day for Hansel, which produces not only some of the greatest, but also some of the most historically significant California Chardonnay. However, I could already imagine the emails I would receive from you, my dear readers. There's no question about it. $90 is a lot for a wine tasting. Yeah, it is. That's what she wrote on there. And then she goes on and she starts talking about the winery and the different people, and she's contacted the people and all that. Another paragraph here. The $90 taste fee may signal to some prospective visitors the seriousness of the endeavor, and it also accounts for the fact that winery employees now host only one group at a time as opposed to the multiple groups. So, wait a minute, engineer came in to get the wine. I got to pour myself more before she takes it away from me. And I also have to ask her, why is there a cork floating around inside that wine?
It went in when I put the corkscrew in.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it was really, really loose.
Oh, well, the wine tastes okay, though.
Yeah.
Can't can't get an aroma out of it, what they say, but it's a good wine.
Mhm.
That was her excuse. You heard it. And so, uh, one person takes care of your tasting from beginning to end. I never saw anywhere in this article how many wines they're tasting, or if you get a little tray of cheese or what with it. But $90 for a tasting, that's almost staggering. And if they do it, and if they find that it's going well for them, it's going to cause others to raise their prices too. Uh, and it's just too much for a wine tasting. People can't do that. It eliminates so many people from doing a wine that price tag on it. And I'm not a fan of very expensive wine tastings. To me, it is a good way people. I mean, if you have your clientele, then the people who you are used to that love your wine and all that will be there, and they will buy your wine regardless. They know your wine, and they might pay the $90 to taste them, but they're going to buy your wine anyway. Trying to get your wine out there so other people can try it and possibly become a fan, then $90 is not going to do it. I remember years ago I was talking to a guy that came into the winery, and we were talking about Pahrump Winery in Nevada. I think Pahrump is closed down. I don't think it's in existence anymore, which is really a shame because they make great wines. But we were talking about Pahrump Winery, and one of their wines there, their Zinfandel, and the guy said that he wanted to try it when he was out there visiting the winery. He wanted to try it, but they were charging an extra $10 to try that wine. And they, the bottle of wine, it was extra $5 to try the wine, and then the wine itself was $95. And he said he couldn't see spending $95 for a bottle of wine, or even $5 if you got the price off your tasting. And I think of something like that, and when you're starting to charge $90 just for a tasting, it seems almost it's like you're driving people away. I don't know. That's tends to be my opinion of that. So that's what they've done. Let me see if there's anything else that I want us on to you today quick before we try to have a conversation with Mike at the end here, with me being delayed for 20 seconds or more. And hopefully I'm still on the program. I am delayed.
You are still on.
because
You are still on the program.
okay. All right, that's good.
Oh,
That's good. So can you hear me
that was
pretty
quick.
quick here? Yeah, sound like you
That's
responded to
sounds
me
like
real
sounds
fast.
like it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So maybe it got caught up during the show.
No problem.
Let me see if there's one more. Okay. I wanted to. I've been talking about no booze or no alcohol, uh, and low alcohol. There was a podcast on Gastropod that looks at food. It says Gastropod looks at food through the lens of science and history. And they had a podcast that was, how long was this thing? This thing was 45 minutes, 42 minutes long. No, 55 minutes long. And it was, let's see, is that stop it, that go? I don't want to play it. Oh, yeah, that's 55 minutes long. It was interesting. What they did was they took low alcohols and they tried it and all that. And they basically overall said that alcohol and no alcohol sucks, and as a wine, um, maybe I'll see if I can't get this link onto our Facebook page. There's no place here to put it, so I'm going to have to see if I can't find some way to get this on our Facebook page. But if you get a chance to listen to it, it's interesting. Just pop on earphones, and while you're playing a video game or something, just listen to them. They are not kind to the no alcohol, low alcohol wines. Uh, so, but it's a good 55-minute listen. It really is, and there's two ladies that run it, and they've invited 3 or 4 guys that come in, and they've all tried the wines, and it's like they're in a kitchen or something. They're popping them and trying them and all that. Interesting podcast. But I'll see if I can't get this onto our Facebook page. I'm sure there's a way I can do it if I play with it long enough. So as long as I don't lose it or mess up something. But let me do that. So what is it? Wow, it's already 6 minutes after 8. So we're done with another podcast, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, 8:06. There you go. I start writing stuff down, and I don't pay attention to the clock. It is, as he said, 8 minutes after the hour. We'll go ahead and shut down this episode of All About Wine that got to a rocky start for the first 15 minutes. So if you're listening to it, you won't know this until near the end. Skip the first 15 minutes. I'm telling you this now because it's very important, and I want you to know an hour and 7 minutes after the show started. Skip the first 15 minutes and then join in with the show. And yeah, you were 100% in there the whole time. So I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
Yeah,
that's odd.
Hmm.
And you're hearing
It
me
is
now.
odd.
It
And
seems like.
I am hearing you now. It's yes,
Wow.
strange. I don't know.
It is. I
Um,
don't either.
do you have squirrels eating your internet cable by any chance? Maybe there's
I will
like
check
some
on
kind of raccoons. Maybe do they like cable networking
I don't know.
wires?
Squirrels will. I don't know about raccoons.
Squirrels. Yeah.
Possums. We have possums around. We have raccoons.
Yeah.
We have,
Gosh,
deer.
something. All of a sudden, it just
I know.
you're back 100%. So join us next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a safe weekend and a great week ahead. And we'll talk to you on May 22nd. That's next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on whatever social media platform you're listening to us right now. So thank you and have a great evening. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Be safe.
This concludes tonight's broadcast of All About Wine with your host, Ron. For show information, links to All About Wine on Twitter and Facebook, or to be a guest on this show, visit the show website at www.allaboutwinebtr.com.
What?
Archived shows are available for download on iTunes or on our show page.
Are you doing this? Cutting it on? It's just stop.
Am I what?
No, the closing.
Oh, no, it's playing.
You-
It's on the main screen.
Messing with the closing?
No, I had it running until I heard you talking.
Oh, getting anything.
Our show page at
You're not even
blogtalkradio.com
seeing it?
Stop.
Hang on.
Or-
All About Wine. Thank you for listening.
Now
Drink
I am.
responsibly, and we'll see you next time on All About Wine.
Psh. I wonder.
Hmm.
Are you back live or can you not hear me? I don't know.